Disclaimer. This I don't, I really don't know what I'm about to disclaim at the beginning of this video. All I'm going to say is Metal Gear Solid 3 though. I know half of you know what that means. That means Metal Gear Solid 3. Welcome back, guys, to a month of Metal Gear, where we continue on with Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 has got to be one of my all-time favorite games. It even has some of the things that hold to standards in all of my stealth games. And because of this game, I literally play shooters exactly like I'm playing this game. Stealth-like. You see me playing Gears of War? I play it like I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 3. Halo? I play it like I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 3. Call of Duty? I just answered the question for you guys like twice now. So the 4 sections are going to be story, graphics, gameplay, and then conclusion. You know how we get started with this, so let's get started with the story.
Snake, what's up? Why are you naked? I know there's a naked option under uniform that lets you take off the upper part of your uniform, but without a shirt on, your camouflage sucks and your stamina goes down faster. You don't get any advantages whatsoever.
Sure there are.
Like what?
It feels good.
Man, you do whatever you want.
I will, thanks. Just one question, though.
What?
Is there a way to take off my pants?
Say what?
My pants, can I?
Oh, hell no! This Fox unit is a nutfest!
Metal Gear Solid 3 is split up into 2 different types of missions. One is a virtuous mission, and one is Operation Snake Eater. We're going to start with the virtuous mission here. The virtuous mission is pretty much the prologue of the game, kind of like Ground Zeroes. If you truly think about it, it's pretty much Ground Zeroes. Except for back then they didn't cut it into 2 games like idiots, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, the story begins with our protagonist Snake doing a halo jump out of a plane and landing and safely getting on the ground and losing his backpack. It's kind of not cool. Back on track. The first part of this game takes place on the virtuous mission, and the second part takes place on Operation Snake Eater. But the first mission is what I'll mostly be talking about, for as I cannot truly spoil everything. I can only give you tidbits on the second mission. We begin with the virtuous mission. The virtuous mission is the whole prologue of the game. It is about an hour long. It truly opens up this expansive story that starts off all of the Metal Gear series. It kind of puts in perspective the mindset of some of the characters that you see in later games, like Revolver Ocelot. You truly see why he started to respect Big Boss as Big Boss, and why he started using revolvers. It's actually quite hilarious on why he started that. Your primary task is to rescue Sokolov and get him out of the country before his nuclear battle tank is complete, which would be the Metal Gear Shagohod. But unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, your mentor, the boss, or as I like to call her, the one that started it all, decides to betray you and give over 2 nuclear warheads to Colonel Volgin, one of the most greatest men to hate in video game history, besides Senator Armstrong. And that is saying something. And with that, Snake is betrayed, his arm broken, he witnesses a nuclear blast. Ball is closed, by the way. I don't know how Snake isn't dead off this, but you know, that's mother trucking Snake, people. Mother trucking Snake. He heals up in a hospital, and that pretty much paves the way for Operation Snake Eater. Why I like this game so much is you pretty much start off as this helpless student from the beginning of the game, and you slowly progress, or you see how Snake slowly progresses into the man we all know as Big Boss. You actually get to see his mindset and everything, how he drastically changes from this naive kid to this gruffy man by the end of the game. And through this is why I truly say this is one of the best Metal Gear storylines of all time.
Snake, what are you doing?
I'm in a box.
A cardboard box? Why are you...
I don't know, I was just looking at it, and suddenly I got this irresistible urge to get inside. No, not just an urge. More than that. It was my destiny to be here. In the box.
Destiny?
Yeah, and then when I put it on, I suddenly got this feeling of inner peace. I can't put it into words. I feel safe. Like this is where I was meant to be. Like I'd found the key to true happiness.
Uh-huh.
Does any of that make sense?
Not even a little.
You should come inside the box. Then you'll know what I mean.
Man, I don't want to know what you mean. Between you and Paramedic, is everyone but me that is hooked up with a Major Strange? Yeah, well, anyway, I suppose even that dumbass box might make a decent disguise if you wear it inside a building.
The graphics are not that bad, and they aren't perfect. These are PS2 era graphics, guys. Come on. What do you expect? You expect the greatest graphics in the world? No. Yeah, are these the worst game graphics? No. You can still see certain things when it comes to graphics in this game. Like how some trees are just straight flat. And some terrain is clearly it's just not good. But again, I'm not holding this game to Metal Gear Solid 4 or 5 standards. I'm holding this game to PS2. And it actually is really good looking. Especially during some of the action scenes, which hold up well to this day. Also want to give a good mention to Snake's face. Because this is the first time you truly see his face greatly detailed. Like stubble and everything. Opposed to Metal Gear Solid 2, which generally wasn't that detailed. He looked more smooth face in Metal Gear Solid 2. Granted that it's a different character, but you guys know what I'm saying.
That area is home to the reticulated python. The reticulated python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there. It's a huge snake, but you should be able to capture it alive by using the tranquilizer gun. I'll bet if you capture one and throw it at an enemy, it'll give him a good scare.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
What was that?
Nothing. Let's see what the guide says. Ah, you're in luck. It says they taste pretty good.
Good. I can hardly wait.
Ugh.
For gameplay, before I get started on gameplay, I just want to say the soundtrack to this game is epic, beyond all epicness. The alarm sound is great. The caution music is pretty epic. The boss music, every boss in this game has their own theme song. Every single one of them. Starting from even Snake Eater, the beginning of this game, the soundtrack fits it. When you're in the field, there is no soundtrack, so it's empty. You need to have your sound all the way up to play this game. That being said, back on the main subject. The gameplay in this game is amazing. When I say amazing, I mean you don't straight up have to play this game like you play other Metal Gears. You can literally play this game faffing about for 3 hours and still enjoy yourself. There is a location in this game called Groznygrad. You can walk around that base when you completely disguise yourselves as Rydkov and just punch soldiers in the face all day, every day. And there's nothing they're going to do to you. You're not even going to raise an alarm. They'll see you, punch them in the face if you want to. That is some of the most fun stuff I've ever done in a game. Also, there's also little hidden tricks and tips throughout the game that you quite possibly would never figure out on your first playthrough. You could figure it out on a later playthrough by holding somebody up. You could do a lot of things in this game that nothing tells you. The game will tell you if you find out by holding people up or just accidentally doing it. Prime example, if you blow up a storehouse or a ration house, the soldiers will be hungry and run out of ammo a lot quicker than they already do. Also, there's a section in this game where you can blow up a helicopter, and later in the game, there won't be no helicopters in that part, just be people on those floating pad stuff. Then there's the progression system. The progression system, you get stronger as soon as you beat any boss in the game. So when you beat a boss, your health increases. It just shows a subtle way, an in-depth way on how Snake gets stronger from beating the Cobra unit. The Cobra unit are some of my favorite boss fights in all of Metal Gear. You got the Fury, the Pain, the Fear, the End, and the Joy, which is the boss. Some of the best boss fights in the series. And some of the funniest things you can do to beat these guys without killing them. And some of the funniest things you can do to beat them quicker. Since I played this game for years, I know how to beat every boss in a minute or two. It's just fun to figure stuff like that out, and fun to figure out how to beat a boss in under a minute or as quickly as you can without killing them or doing anything to them. I like to make a special mention to the End. The End is one of the only bosses in Metal Gear history which you can kill off really, really early in the game. You don't even have to fight the End. You can even leave your system off, transfer the clock a week, and he'll die during the boss fight. It's that simple. And like I said, some of the things you can do can alter later on in the game. You can even leave a tracking device on later in the game in your body, because somebody sticks it in your body, and soldiers will be finding you, so it makes a certain part a fight instead of just you getting to a location. And that's not me even getting into the Metal Gear Solid stuff. Like, there's the dodge roll is back from Metal Gear Solid 2, and it's even been improved upon. The camera is better in Metal Gear Solid 3. Granted, this is the second version. It's the subsistence version. Granted, at certain parts, I do prefer the old type of camera. I actually did like the sequel view because you can lock it in certain areas and properly watch the scene, opposed to the new circular camera, which made it a little harder to watch certain fights. Like, you get ambushed early in the game, and I do prefer the old camera to catch a certain person on the roof so I can properly flashbang them. But like I said, subtle stuff like that. Other than that, the gameplay in this game is truly epic. You even have a leaning peak. The leaning peak in Metal Gear Solid 2 was there, but people could still see you, which was kind of pointless. In this game, you can peek around corners doing it, and enemies still can't see you. I also found a glitch in this game where if you're like low on the clip, you can take the weapon off, put it back on. This game also added, and one of the coolest things they added in the game is a fake death pill. The fake death pill allows you to pretend die when you're in alert mode, and then revive yourself when you're out of the alert status. These can truly come in handy when you're in a tight spot and on a hard difficulty, because these things, they're just amazing. You also have CQC options where you can hold up people, ask them radio stations, you can find healing radio stations, you can find a bunch of stuff doing all this. There's also camouflage options, and where you can change up your camouflage to match yourself to any background in any situation in the game to make it harder for an enemy to find you. You can change your face paint, and you can change your outfit, if that's what you want to call it. I totally forgot what it's called, but that'll come to me later. Snake can also get very injured during this game. So say you get shot up, injured, you break your leg, you do something stupid, fly off a cliff, faff about it a little bit, you get injured. They also added a healing option to heal your broken bones, and if you stand around long enough, your health will automatically recover. They have life medicines, but they don't come up too often. And as well, rations in this game do not cure your health, they cure your stamina. Now, the stamina in this game acts as Snake's, better aiming, better able to swim, hold your breath long enough function. With the stamina meter, Snake is able to do a lot of things, like run longer, aim, not be hungry, because if you have an empty stomach in this game, the enemies can hear your stomach growling, so you always got to eat. You actually can eat all the animals in the game. You can just find animals, eat them, put them to sleep, use them. You even use animals as traps and tricks to catch people. And then there are the codec. The codec conversations in this game border on some of the deepest and most engaging to some of the funniest things in Metal Gear history. If you ever get a chance, go in a box, talk to Sigint. Automatically will make you laugh because of the dialogue. And you get to learn Snake's personal fear. It's Dracula. It's Dracula, guys. He's afraid of Dracula, okay? Just to get it out of the way. I wish Solid Snake knew that when he was fighting Big Boss. Just take a picture of Dracula and throw it at him. It's Dracula! But some of the characters interact with Snake in some of the funniest and most hilarious situations, and can also be in these most serious and fun situations as well. For example, Eva doesn't properly tell you everything when she talks to you in the codex. So when you finally figure it out, you're like, Eva, and she goes, oops, forgot about this or that, which makes it extra hilarious. Like I was saying to you guys earlier, there's so many ways to do everything in this game, and so much stuff to do that you quite possibly can't do it in one playthrough. You have to do it in multiples. Like, prime example, if you don't kill any of the bosses in the game, you can get an item from them. It's namely an outfit from every boss in the game that does something very special. And I truly cannot stress that this game has too much stuff for this one tiny review. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the conclusion of this.
Snake, there are rats living in that area. The rats in that area are the descendants of wild Norway rats that were domesticated by humans as pets and lab animals. They're not poisonous, and I don't think they'll attack you, but they're quick little creatures, so you might have a hard time catching one.
Uh-huh. So how do they taste?
Snake?
What?
They're rats.
I know what they are. Do they taste okay?
The guide says they're not that bad.
Good enough for me.
Ugh.
I'd mainly say my main negatives with this game are certain graphical oddities, and the fact that on higher difficulties the AI have hawk vision, so they can see you from across a bridge and you'll be alerted. And on something like European Extreme, in which if you get caught it's automatically game over, that is the single most annoying situation that can happen to you. And I've played and beaten it on European Extreme before I even heard about European Extreme, which means I got caught and I restarted. But that's PS2 era. If I truly had to rate this game with our rating scale, I'd say buy. Go out and buy the Legacy Collection. If you buy that, you'll get this game with it, and Peace Walker, and Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 1. So, in short, go buy this game. Just do it. Yesterday, you said today. Today, you said tomorrow. Just do it. Nothing is impossible. You know. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves on the rest of the Metal Gear month. The next game will be Metal Gear Solid 2, and the last game of the month will be Metal Gear Solid 1, because I feel like doing them out of order like that. But till next time, guys, this is the Visor taking his visor off, signing out.